Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and welcome to the show. We had some delay because of some video issue. I've restarted, I've re-gigged everything. The video is back on. So we're live. Good morning from Australia and good morning from Australia. Please do like and share the show if you come online. It does help the algorithms. And welcome, everyone. Welcome from Australia. Today, I was thinking a little bit about purity and impurity. What does this concept mean to you? During this broadcast, you can support my page by sending stars, a digital gift that helps me to earn money. So does that have any meaning for you, this idea of purity? And I was thinking as well, what were you like before the world told you what to be? If you take away all the conditioning, imagine a world without parents, without brothers, sisters, siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, friends, teachers. You know, just go back in life and think of all the people that have influenced you, all the people that have been in your life, that have contributed, that have perhaps mentors, people you looked up to in a good and bad way, people that made you suffer perhaps. And you start to filter your life through that lens. You start to see what people were telling you, what they were telling you, how they were acting in your presence, how they were influencing you. Not just by what they said, but what they didn't say. Not just by what they did, but what they didn't do. Good morning, Kim. How are you? We had a strange day with the video being off, but it's back on, and so that's a great thing. And so I am a bit relieved the video is back on, and it's a little bit gray out there, so I have to bring a lot of color through my painting into the world. How are you? And how did you feel with this question? Who would you be before the world told you who to be? I'll write this down. Who or what? Who and what would you be like before the world told you? Before the world told you who to be. So perhaps the words are not so clear, but you know what I mean. What would you be like, or who would you be without all the influences of people around you, without all the people who told you what to do, what to be, who influenced you, who told you what life was, what the world was, what money was, what your role was. So I'm curious if you do have any response. Just meditate on that. And do like and share the show. It's always appreciated. So how is the week going? How have you been? What's going on? It's already Wednesday in Australia, so we're already sort of midweek. I had a bit of a rest over the weekend, so that was quite good. I felt pretty strong last week towards the end of the week, and then I think I was busy with too many things. So this is the nature of life. We get stuck into many things, and it does have an effect. So take time to ground yourself, go out into nature, into a quiet place, always feel the sun on your skin, and that always helps just to bring us back into the center, bring us back into balance, bring us back into wholeness. Wholeness is a big topic. What is wholeness? And perhaps we can talk about it another time. So please do write in the comments section any feedback, as it just helps me flow with things. So what's happening in your world, and what does flow mean to you? Are you going with the flow, or do you create things? And perhaps that fits into this question that I've asked. Who and what would you be like before the world told you who to be? I'm sure I could write that in a different way that makes more sense, but it's an interesting question, coming back to purity and impurity. And the impurities are what we collect. It's almost like we collect the impurities through our life experience, through what we see, what happens to us, what we see in the world. But if you take all those layers away, then you'll start to remember this innocent little baby, this innocent little infant, this innocent little child that came into the world and had a lot of possibilities open. This openness, it's like you have a blank canvas, and what are you going to paint? It's, you can fill that canvas with anything you like, and that's the possibility of being a baby in the world, being human, being a little child, and having that energy. So what your parents did, what everyone did, unknowingly or unknowingly, intentionally or unintentionally, was they influenced you. They created a prism. They created a lens, maybe not a prism, but a lens through which you saw the world. They presented things in front of you that guided you. They placed values on top of you. You started to collect their values and go, oh, that's how one should be in the world. So it's so interesting just to contemplate this, just to think about it and think, what would I be like if I was in a different family? What would it be like, say, if I was in that family or I was in that family? It also helps us with judgment when we all have some tendencies to judge, and it's a natural part of orientating ourselves towards survival. We need to be able to know what the threat is and protect ourselves accordingly. So people use this word judge a lot, and it's helpful to be aware of it, and of course to come to the world with an open heart, not always to be judging everyone, but not to judge the judgment. So people, I find there's certain people, they're judging judgment, and they're very judgmental about judging, and it's, well, there's a natural tendency, a natural survival instinct within us that we need to be able to judge, is this a threat? We need to be able to navigate ourselves towards survival, so we know what's out there and what the threat is. Is this person, is this animal, person, whatever it is, the fire? How do I stay safe? So we need a discernment and awareness, a discerning awareness of what's out there, what's safe for us, what's out there in the world. So the word judge is often thrown out there a lot, and it's a little bit misunderstood, and definitely we can bring an orientation of compassion towards each other. That is important. So judging is natural. Is natural, but it's what you do with that. It's what you do with that. And you can always come with a compassionate energy towards yourself and towards other people. Always bring the compassion, but don't judge the judgment or pretend that it's not natural. Pretend that there's no reason for it, because there are reasons for it. And it is interesting how you see these divisions in all sorts of relationships, all sorts of aspects of society, media, politics, romantic relationships. You see so much conflict, division, and people often have very different ideas about life in the world and their place within it. And it can be hard to navigate these conflicts. It can be hard where there's people are judging the other side, whatever side they're on. They're like, this is the right, the other side is wrong. This idea of righteousness, of right and wrong, can be problematic and can create conflict in relationships, because whatever side you're on, you're still worthy of love. And perspective is an interesting thing, because perspective is an orientation. It's not black or white. It's not right or wrong. So I think this idea of right or wrong is perhaps where people are being misled, thinking that somebody is right and the other person's wrong, or this is the right way, that's the wrong way. And we see this in so many issues that are very complex in the world, that require a lot of attention and balance and nuance, and people come with this sort of black or white paintbrush, paint everything black or white. it's the world is way more complex than that. So let me know in the comments section if you are alive. Please do like and share the show. It's looking very quiet at the moment, so I really do appreciate liking and sharing. And a response to the question, maybe it wasn't worded very eloquently. What would you be like before the world told you how to be? Who and how to be? Well, let me see if I could reword this to make it more interesting or more relevant. What would I be like if I could go back and remove all my life influences so that I was crystalline and pure, a pure being of light, a pure soul? What would I be like? Who would I be? All right, so I've reworded it somewhat, and apologies if you're waiting for that to come out. What would I be like if I could go back? If I could, that should be go back and remove all my life influences so that I was a crystalline and pure, so that I was crystalline and pure, pure being of light, a pure soul. What would I be like? What would I be in the world? So not quite perfect yet. Working on this wording. Do you have any responses that come to mind? Or does it evoke any feelings? Does it evoke any resistance? Does it remind you of certain influences in your life that may be brothers, sisters, parents, friends that influenced you? Were there any experiences where your light was shut down, was blocked, and I'm sure there were, when your innocence was corrupted, I would say. And you remember any instances when that happened? We're always oscillating between certain polarities as human beings, and it's important to come back into the center of awareness, of wisdom, and anchor in the divine spirit, our source of light and love and abundance. And sometimes moving beyond takes moving into, so embodying something in order to transcend it. So that is when I think of something like anger, suppressing it doesn't work. We need to kind of find a way to express the anger, feel the anger and express it, feel the anger and let it go. We can't just shut it down, block it, suppress it, repress it, because it becomes a sort of oppressive, sinister kind of energy that blocks us anyway. So we do have emotions, and these emotions need to move. They always need to move through us. And ultimately, we're here to experience the world. We're here to experience life. We're not here just to be somewhere else. We're here to be here. So being present is really important. I talk a lot about presence, divine presence, mystical presence, the eternal now, or teachers have said, be still and know, be still and breathe, be still, and things like that. I've had various teachers, and I like that, be still and breathe. And in Sufism, the Sufis have a very beautiful, evocative image of the beloved, of this idea of the beloved, which is very inspiring, and they have this idea of something like Dukkha. I don't know how you say that, but it's a type of soul remembrance, spiritual remembrance, orienting ourselves towards the heart, towards love, towards this idea of the beloved. Presence is not just what we do, it's who we are. It's who we are being in the world. And I think that's a really important idea, that it's, if you take away all the values, all the ideas of all the ideas of value, remove all of that, and just acknowledge the beauty, the wonder of a soul being in a human body. And that's not, there's nothing you need to be or do in the world. It's just a raw purity of this divine soul being present in the body. So very quiet. I wonder if anyone is there at the moment. I am talking away, chatting away, so that's all good. So just continuing with this topic, I always like to say love over fear. Always acknowledge that there are things there are real threats in the world, and there are real things, but often it's way worse than we think. And when we take steps forward and keep this orientation towards the beloved, we will be able to make progress, to allow these situations to dissolve or to be less confronting. We allow challenges, crises to unfold in a way that is a little bit more effortless, instead of feeling the extremes of our nervous system going into overdrive or trauma or unresolved wounding. We can come in, stay in the center with whatever crises are happening around us, and allow the orchestration of spirit to flow through us, allowing our the light of awareness to stay present within us. There is a certain in self-growth, in self-awareness, there's always a sense of alchemizing that which is unseen, alchemizing that which we're not aware of, or perhaps we're becoming aware of it. The shadows, elements ourselves, witnessing them is essential. Witnessing them, feeling them, and then allow them to dissolve. So it's presence that leads to this dissolving of this sort of triggering emotion, the triggering shadows, the aspects of ourselves we hide away from, that we neglect, that we pretend don't exist, when we have all of it inside of us. We have everything inside of us. And that's the strange thing about being human, because we have all these aspects, but we think most of us think, well, we're good, we wouldn't do that. But we have all the elements of darkness, lightness. We have it all within us. It's just a question of how we navigate, process, and bring awareness into the inner world, and bring elevated, and there is a certain we do need to be steering the ship. That's important. We do need to be steering the ship, but awareness is really key, and anchoring in the divine elements of peace. That's a beautiful energy. And gnosis is what I'm talking about. Gnosis. What is gnosis? Gnosis, very much knowledge, very much wisdom. And when we think of gnosis, we refer to the knowledge of spiritual mysteries. And there's a certain element of faith sometimes in all of this, in all of this life, in all of this world. A certain element of faith required to step across the abyss, to step across the unknown, the bridge of the unknown, from the known to the unknown. Whatever new things we create in our life, we have to cross that bridge. We have to step across into the unknown. And we have all the strength within us. We have all the energies and possibilities and potentialities within us. But, like everything, it just takes a leap of faith sometimes, or just a little step of faith. So please do like and share the show, and please do comment if you are live. I see a few people online that it's the comments are not flowing through this morning or this evening. So please do send in a comment just to know that you are present with us and engaged and interested. Feel free to ask any questions. And we do spiritual readings every week. This is a show for readings, psychic readings, intuitive readings, guidance, and spiritual embodiment and awakening. So it's all along the path towards becoming better human beings and living a more whole and complete life within the world and within ourselves. So that is the invitation of this show. I'm David Starlyte. Every week I'm with you live, and this is a Wednesday morning for me in Australia. I live in far north Queensland along the Great Barrier Reef coastline, Pacific Ocean, I think, Southern Pacific Ocean, I think, or we have a sea, which I always forget what's the name of the sea. Never mind. We have a sea and an ocean. So we use that word interchangeably, I think, sea and ocean. What is the difference? I think an ocean is just a bigger sea. I think that's the main difference. I love to drink tea. And I love to share and discuss various spiritual topics, but also practicalities, living. It's really important to be practical in the world. So just sharing a card about the collective energy, which seems to be interestingly poised here in November, would you believe? And it's hard to imagine that it's sort of how many weeks, maybe 8 weeks or something like that, or less than 8 weeks. And it's the end of 2025. That's it. So we're entering the final chapter in 2025 in the year. And how is that to contemplate that? What you have learned, what you've experienced, how you've grown. Do you see the world in a new way? What kind of transformations have occurred in 2025? So I'm just going to pick a card for the collective energy, and we're just going to see what's happening. It's an interesting energy in the collective, which is about. Let me just hold this card up. It's an Andromedan energy, which is about change and adventure. And it's quite exciting, actually. That's the collective energy. It's saying, well, it's time just to get stuck in, just to jump in, just to leap, just to launch, just to go ahead. So it's a kind of jump in energy. If you're thinking of anything, thinking of doing something, this energy is saying, just do it. Don't stay on the sidelines. Live your life. This is the time. There's no other time to be here. So say yes to change. Say yes to new projects, new swimming with the tides. Jump into the water. So no more waiting. No more asking for permission. No more waiting to be ready. This is taking a deep breath and jumping right on it. So this is saying life encourages, or life, compliments, encourages, or responds to courageous action, bold action. That's how it responds. So be courageous, be bold, and face the direction of your heart, of the beloved, of your true inner desires. The only thing sometimes left is to take a leap. So sometimes we have everything ready. It's just us that's the only thing blocking, or only thing standing in our own way is ourselves. And so take the leap. Take the leap into the sea or the ocean or even the storm. You have this, you've got this. The Andromedans want you to fall in love with the surfing waves of life. So this is collective energy, collective reading, Andromedan energy coming through. It's adventure, it's adaptability, it's coming to coming to life, coming to earth, to really live, to really experience the world. So this is like very inspiring. I love this. Jump in. That's the collective energy. Now, in terms of the other card I picked, I'm trying to unpick this. It's very much that hidden mysteries are coming out in the world, but also in the self, in the individual, in the human collective. There's going to be archaeological discoveries. It's going to be discoveries of new things, of old things but newly discovered. So lost lands, soul memory, not soul memories, but lost lands and ancient mysteries. There's going to be an unfolding, but it's happening collectively, but also individually. So the soul memory is what I was referring to previously. Of you've done this before. This is coming out. This is coming out into the open. It's coming out into the world. So this is a fascinating time for these mystical ancient secrets to come out into the world, for the old, for archaeology to make discoveries, for us to realize the truths about the ancient mysteries, the truth about the hidden history of our civilization. The souls are beginning to awaken to this. Remember, see the ancient eras in a new way, and to come to realize that the earth has been around a long time, and this is not our first time, or not the first time we tend to see ourselves as like, oh, everything is new. But these times are about remembering, and the gifts of the past are starting to flood back into awareness. So the ancients had lots of technologies, lots of advanced technologies, and there's lots of lost wisdom that we can unlock on a soul level. It doesn't have to be archaeologists or scientists. We can unlock this on a soul level. Remember the fragments of our collective wisdom, the fragments of our soul wisdom, our history, and the lost lands are going to call us, and visiting lost lands is going to activate these memories. So definitely visit the places around you, the old places, the ancient places, the ruins, the temples, these old places, because it's going to activate memories of Lemuria, Atlantis, Avalon, Shambhala. It's going to start to usher in this new age of awareness and bring the gifts from the past into the present, so we can use that wisdom to create a better world. So it's a very interesting and exciting unlock. So that's what happening in the collective, and we shall do a quick meditation. I don't know if comments is working because it's not coming through. It's just, I think the last comment we had was half an hour ago. So I don't know if the comments are just not working, or if there's just, we're just having a bit of a quiet show. That was what I was asking before. Remember, it's a new time today. Oh, that could be a factor. So it's a new time. Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah, I'm just used to comments flowing through, and today's been super quiet. And so it's just been like that, talking to myself. Psychicfixers.com. I'd like to be back in Atlanta, swimming around it with my soulmate, sit on rocks and sunbathe. Wow, Marianne, that's really beautiful. So tell me more. Do you have a memory of being Atlantis with your soulmate? And what was your soulmate like? It sounds like there's a real soul memory here, Marianne. I'm just going to pick a card and see what we find for you, Marianne. gonna see. Looks very interesting, like almost like a tree, and almost it's quite a interesting cards. Quite intertwined. You can see that tree, and then there's definitely this beautiful, graceful presence, this beautiful activation energy, spiritual energy. This card is more like I don't know, more like European in a way, or there's a certain esoteric element in that card. So there's a lot of intertwinement, I would say, in these cards. It's quite a rich tapestry woven through your soul, through your history, Marianne. So really interesting. I wonder if you can remember your soulmate, if you can remember Atlantis. Does anyone else have any soul memories of Atlantis, perhaps? Lemuria. Lemuria is really interesting. A lot of people call it Mu. Lemuria, Mu, which was a peaceful land, a very peaceful land. So Marianne says, a bit, he was so kind, we were so in love, a dozen children and all, we were peaceful till that earthquake. That's a lot of children. Wow. So that's extraordinary, Marianne. Thank you so much for sharing that. Wow, we were so in love. A dozen children. That's so many children. So you've definitely influenced the world, Marianne. We were peaceful till that earthquake. Welcome to the show, Carlos. Great to see you. I thought it was very quiet, and it's now we have some comments coming through. I don't think I had a comment for over half an hour. So great to see you, Carlos, and thank you for being there and for sharing. How are you doing, Carlos? Marianne says we were searching creatures. You were searching creatures. So you searched a lot. I'm seeing turtles. You were sort of like turtles exploring. Carlos, welcome to the show. Sea creatures. We were. So you lived a lot in the ocean. Oh, you weren't human. You weren't human, Marianne, or that sounds interesting. Or you were searching for sea creatures. Carlos says he's well. You know, there was a film they made on the sea, and then some of the mermaid ideas are really sweet. And perhaps you were a mermaid, Marianne. Perhaps you were a mermaid in Atlantis. Half human, half fish. So that's really interesting. This idea of being half human, half fish, because there is a collective memory of Atlantis as a time of DNA exploration, experiments, actually. So they were doing experiments. So I wonder about that possibility. It could well be. And we have this idea of the mermaid. We have this concept of the mermaid. So where did that concept come from? So much of what we have in our theology, in our books, are messages, or memories, or little hints about the past. We have an oral law. We things get passed on intergenerationally, and so there's a reason we have mermaids. This is something that we have in the past. We definitely had a lot of monsters. I was looking at this huge archaeology head, this massive monster, and it was pretty scary. But definitely lots of monsters, and archaeologists have found these extraordinary monsters. Even just the fact that we had all those dinosaurs, it's pretty wild. Manatees maybe as observed by sailors, maybe. Manatees maybe as observed by sailors. Yeah, and a lot of the monsters, of course, were hidden, hidden in the ocean, for instance. So it's not something you would see every day, but you would hear about it. Somebody would see the monster, and so it's very it's almost like whispers, but a lot of fear. And when you see some of the archaeology finds of the ocean monsters, you kind of like, wow, this the things we think are fiction, what we think of as fiction is not always so fictional. The myths that we have often have a reality, are based in reality. They're not really so mythological. They're actually real. So we were living amongst the dinosaurs too, so we would have had a lot of experience of monsters and fear. And I wonder how the dinosaurs were treating us, because they don't seem to have very large brains. So I think they were pretty primal, pretty basic. But the basis for dinosaurs, I believe, became birds. Or am I wrong in that? Amphibians. There is a certain reptilian influence on the planet that is really seen in the lizards, for instance. So we have this ongoing energy, from the lizards, which the dinosaurs had. But the dinosaurs are no more. What happened to the dinosaurs, Marianne? Was that also the flood, the earthquake? What caused that? What caused the earthquake? Was it? So a lot of questions. We must have had a very extreme event to cause all the dinosaurs to die. And Marianne, I think you were around at the time, so perhaps you can remember what was going on and what happened to the dinosaurs. Carlos is doing well. That's great. Marianne says they evolved into crocs, gators, and birds. So we have these strange crocodiles and alligators. And I was talking last week about the crocodile in the swimming pool. And that was real. That was actually real. People filmed it. And I know you've got a lot of alligators that end up in people's swimming pools. So those are the remnants of the dinosaurs, So we still have these creatures, and some of them are more creatures than others. Birds can be very lovely pets, but crocodiles cannot be lovely pets. But you can have lizards. I know people who have lizards as pets, and some of them can be pretty nice pets. People enjoy them. So it's interesting how varied people's hobbies and pets are. No, we are not living with T-Rex. We live some of the evolved forms. So Marianne has a lot of lived experience of these times. So we weren't living with a T-Rex. We lived some of the evolved forms. And I don't know if I was just watching this a couple of days ago of this monster they found, this ocean monster, sea monster. It was from a year ago, and you may have seen it in the news or something. There's a massive head, and they showed the AI, or they created this monster, how it looked like. And it was pretty scary. This big creature, but the head was really, really large. So we have gone on an interesting tangent today. We have Marianne and Carlos on the show. Different time, slightly different energy, and I'm looking forward to being back with you next week and discussing all these issues. And doing some readings. So please do like and share the show. Is her name Meg as in Megalodon? That's scary. Well, this was just something I found. It came up actually in YouTube. YouTube just brings things up. And suddenly there was a monster, and I was like, what is this monster? So I watched it. It was a news report about a monster. And so I don't know if it's been named, if it has a name. I think they called it Ocean Sea Monster. I think that was the main heading, something about a sea monster being discovered. And there's also the Loch Ness monster. So that's something similar that people talk about, the Loch Ness monster a lot. But a lot of fake pictures. Is this a real monster? Because we found certain monsters, so we know that these animals live deep in the ocean, deep in the depths, and there is a reality to it. She lives at the deep depths. Meg, as in megalodon. So we know that there are these creatures. Whether they're still alive or not is a different question. So the Loch Ness monster, there's so many people who say they've seen it. So that's really something interesting. And does it still exist down there? What is at the deeper depths of the ocean? What is undiscovered? I know the Titanic is down there. There are people who've gone to see the Titanic, and there was a company that was going down and exploring the ocean with experimental material. And I don't know if you know that company or those people that explored in it. They had a little ship that went down. That's a different story. So what a world we live in. The ancient discoveries coming out, and we're seeing a very different version of reality, a version of the world that is quite scary, let's say. Think Mariana Trench deep. So very, very deep in the ocean. Mariana Trench deep. So very, very deep in the ocean, far, far away. I'm happy to be on the surface. I'm happy to be above ground and not have to deal with these kind of creatures. But we have enough creatures on the surface of the earth to contend with. So Kim has said she's listening, and thank you for the comment, Kim. Thank you for being here. We're talking a little bit about all these creatures that have been discovered, the archaeology, the monsters that we've found, and it's pretty extraordinary. Luckily, most of them are not around anymore. Let's just say we're fortunate. I think we're lucky we don't have all these dinosaurs running around, especially the T-Rex. So we are fortunate that we don't have them anymore, but it would be very interesting if we brought all these creatures back to life, because there is a company that's busy with that technology. They want to bring species back to life, but I hope that they're quite sensible, not like Jurassic Park. But they are working on some interesting projects, bringing to life species that are extinct, and we're seeing it right now. A lot of species becoming extinct on this planet. So it's important we take responsibility for the earth, for loving the earth, for being custodians of the earth, for blessing the earth with our presence, taking care of it, nurturing it as the caretakers, as the custodians. We've been given this gift of this planet, and we are a relatively intelligent species, but we've taken advantage of the planet and we haven't cared for it. So it's really important. All of us collectively help the earth, help Mother Earth, do good, do some cleaning, send in good messages to support the planet. Sometimes it's just how we shop. It's the media that we share with the world, or what we expose ourselves what we share with others, that it's action. If people really took action, then some of the big companies would change their behavior. So plastic is a terrible scourge on the planet, and it's really important that we take action to not support this plastic industry. There are alternatives, and we can do things without all this plastic. So that's one way that we can take action. There's many ways. There's so many good things we can do to make the earth beautiful. Kim says, I'm here listening. And Marianne says, woolly mammoth. Yes, pterodactyl. Kim says, I agree with you. So I think it's a good time to end the show. We'll be back next week. Lots of love to everyone. Carlos would like a card. I've got just 1 minute to go, Carlos. Let's just see. All right. So we've got birthing, creations, tapestry of life, expression. So it's an energy of bringing new things into the world. That's the main energy I'm getting with that card, Carlos. We're bringing new things into the world. We are, as you can see, there's an all-embracing nature to this. So it's similar to what I was talking about: coming out, sharing, expressing yourself, connecting with the tapestry of life. So there's these are female figures as well. So there's a feminine aspect in this colors, beautiful feminine aspect, and that's in a way reflected in when you think of birthing. When you think of birthing, it comes from the feminine. So I would say birthing new creations is linked to what the feminine is. We've got this beautiful man, and he is out there in the world, and he is out there. So that's you, and that is confirmation that you are doing good in the world, that you are shining your light in the world. So we are. Carlos says thank you. Kim says I'm here. So see you all next week. New time, same place, new time. And thank you everyone for liking and sharing the show. Much appreciated. We'll do some more readings next week. So have your readings prepared, have your questions prepared, and anything else you can contact me below. If you see the bar, social media, David Starlyte, and see you all next week on the other side. Go in peace, go in love, and stay real. Stu says, interesting show. Thanks, Stu. Carlos says, thank you. So see you all next week.